create demand with our dollars. The pornography industry wouldn't have monstrous demand if we didn't spend our money. All this debt that was created in the homes, and all these stupid homes that were built with granite counters and all this. Sorry, anybody who did that. If we hadn't taken out all these debts, some of this wouldn't happen. We are culpable. Not that we control all the institutions, but we contribute to the problem.
I have a question about the, this argument that certain entities are too big to fail. And do you think that that's true now? And then secondly, assuming, say, it is true, how would you go about sort of dismantling them and creating a system such that in the future, they're not allowed to come into existence?
Okay. First off, they're not too big to fail. They have. They have failed, and they're creating money and giving it to these large banks to try and keep them solvent. And when I showed you those charts at the beginning of how money compounds forever, we're hitting the wall. The math can't possibly work. And so we're going to have a correction, and it's going to be brutal, and it's going to be unhappy. And that chart I showed you with all that debt didn't even include Social Security and Medicare. The net worth of the American people is about $40 trillion. What Medicare and Social Security need today is $70 trillion just to try and be solvent, on top of all that orange debt. None of this is workable. It's going to blow. So we're going to have a correction, an implicit in correction. That correction is a good thing. And so we're going to have correction, and we're going to have an opportunity to create, new systems, and people are going to have to learn to be sensible about their demands and what they expect of government. And then they're also going to have to create social institutions that are much closer to home.
Hi. I know you do investment advising for a living, correct?
Yes.
How do you incorporate all of this and what you know and what you believe into advising your clients? I mean, it seems like there's such an inherent contradiction. Not that you shouldn't be doing it, I just think it would be very difficult.
Well, when clients come to my office, generally I'm under my desk. Okay, we live in society. I've been able to see this coming, and we live in society, and we're going to continue to live in society. The world only will end once. Okay? And if it's the end of the world, I'm fine. If it's not the end of the world, then we have to really place our faith in God. And we're going to have to make some decisions. We still have to live in houses. We still have to take care of the poor, the elderly. We have to eat all these things. And, we have to invest. And, I just try and do the best I can. But I do educate people because, for years I listened to my cohorts showing that, we can expect about a 9 to 10% return in the stock market. And I'm going, well, okay, could someone explain this to me? The economy is growing at 5%. How can we all get 9% returns? Okay, and I would ask this, when we'd have wholesalers come in and speakers come in, and I'd ask this question, and it was about as welcome as a fart in church. But the fact is, obviously we can't all get 9 or 10% returns in an economy growing at 5. We have to be realistic about what we're capable of doing. And in the end, the most fruitful thing there is love. Okay, that's what creates other human beings. Love is what creates social capital. Social capital being human beings that love and care and are capable. That's where we need to focus our attention. And then prudentially, we can make decisions about investing, but we don't really know how it'll work out. I don't know if we're going to have inflation. I don't know if we'll have deflation. But I know those charts, they can't happen. You saw what happened with the lynx, with the rabbits, with lemmings. There's going to be a correction, and it's unavoidable.
Oh, we have one of the questions up here. Someone had a question.
Mine's a little more pointed. What would you recommend to do? I believe in what you said about love. It's all good. But what could we do to prepare for the numbers not working? And what are you doing as a financial advisor where you feel like you're part of the solution and not part of the problem?
Okay. I don't want to, because of my, I don't really want to go there and make recommendations, okay? Just because, I mean, what's so insane, I'm watching what these big firms are doing, and they're just putting the wood to the public. And, I get rules, I can't even text message my clients because we fall under advertising, and I have to get permission from my supervisor and keep record of the text messages for years. I mean, my regulatory problems are incredible. So I don't really want to sit up here and make recommendations, okay? But we know the money system could collapse, right? It could be destroyed. So we need to deal with that reality. If we have deflation, we need some assets. If we have inflation, we have other assets. And nobody can really tell you what's going to happen. And so part of what I say to people is when you're driving in the fog, the smart thing to do is slow down. Okay? So, reduce your debt. Okay? Deleverage. Move to cash. The stock market is ridiculously priced. You're paying about $106 for a dollar of earnings. The average for the century is about 18. And when you're buying stocks, you're buying the future earnings of the company. Why spend $106 for a dollar of earnings if you want a 10% return? So, I'm leery of the markets. The productive capacity is going to be more international than U.S. Our manufacturing, we only have about 11% of our economy is manufacturing. There's too much to say.
Yes, good morning. I was just wondering whether that part of the problem is
currency is dead. Do you think that there's a better system than currency, like bartering, or is currency
metals or greenbacks? And actually, Germany, after its mess after the hyperinflation, they created something called labor certificates. And so the only way that the money was created is if you created value, and then you would receive a labor certificate. And these were traded inside Germany. And Germany went from a basket case to a pretty strong country in a very short order. And a lot of it was these labor certificates, which were not debt, but they were representative of real productive effort.
And of course, things went really well in Germany after that, too, didn't they?
Well, that's what enlightened leadership will do.
All right, listen, thank you very much, Bob. Thank you. It was